Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a good day to everybody. My name is Muhammad Azwan and I'm here to present about my topic, which is the meaning of GDP and GNP and differentiate between both of them. And I will start with GDP. What is actually GDP? GDP is a gross domestic product. GDP is a total market value, which is the amount that a product would trade for in the open market of all goods and services produced within a specific location over a particular time and period. GDP includes all products that are sold in the home market as well as some non-market items, for example, educational services paid for by the governments. Another example of GDP is the output of a Toyota plant in Shalom will not be included in GNP, although it will be counted in GDP. Here's why that makes sense. The revenue from the sales of Toyota cars and trucks goes to Japan, even though the products are made and sold in Malaysia. However, it should be included in GDP because it adds to the health of the Malaysian economy. That is because this plant creates jobs for Shalom residents who use their wages to buy local goods and services. Next, I will talk about a formula of GDP. The GDP formula is C plus I plus G plus X minus M. What is C? C is a consumption, I is investment, G is government, and X is export, and M is import. Okay, I will continue my presentation on GNP. What is actually GNP? GNP is a gross national product. Gross national product is a broad measure of nation's total economic activity. GNP is the value of all finished goods and services produced in a country in 1 year by its national. For example, the shoes made in Nike plant in Korea will be counted in US GNP but not GDP. That is because the profits from those shoes will boost Nike's earning and stock prices, contributing to higher national income. It won't directly boost economic growth in the US because those manufacturing jobs will outsource. Now it's Korean workers who will boost the country's economy by buying local goods and service. Okay, next I will go on to GNP formula. Calculating it. GNP formula is GDP plus NR. As we all know, GDP is gross domestic product plus NR, which is the net income from assets abroad or net income receipts. GDP and GNP are basically used in business, economics, and forecasting. The applications context in which these terms are used for GNP is to see GNP used to see the strength of a country's local economy, whereas GDP are used to see how the national of a country are doing economically. They're doing good or not good. Here are some conclusions from me. GDP is perhaps the most widely used metric to measure the health of economies, but some economists have argued that GDP is a flawed metric because it does not measure the economic well-being of society. For example, it's possible that GDP is going up, but median income going down, and poverty rate increasing. GDP also does not measure environmental impact of growth, non-sustainability. Other important metrics include health of the population, infant mortality rates, and malnutrition rates, none of which are captured by GDP. Okay, that is all from me. Thank you, everybody.